Hello and a warm welcome back. Today, not on the bench, is my Honda Shadow VT750 C4 motorbike, which is poorly. Let us go and have a look closer. So one day I used it, went to town, about a 10-mile round trip. Next day, came to start it, totally no lights or anything, no power. So obviously I checked, where is it, the main fuse, which is here. Let me see if I can get you down there a bit. The first thing, the first thing I checked obviously was the main 30 amp fuse, which is in here. It's really dodgy setup, this is. They connect, basically one is ground, one goes to you, I don't know, whatever. So that goes like that. As you can see, it's got fried in the path because this got too hot, because this in here is the solenoid contactor that engages the starter motor. So then I spent quite a few days in that really nasty, horrible, freezing cold weather that we had, trying to use my digital multimeter to see if I could find a short. Couldn't find a short for and I tried everything. I tried wiggling wires, to see if it was in the wiring harness, and at one point I thought I'd sussed it, thinking it was the headlamp, because I took the headlamp fuse out, which is this one here, and everything, the main fuse didn't blow. However, started it up and everything, thought hurrah, came back the next day to put it all back together, fuse had gone again. So I changed the headlamp fuse bulb just to see if that would work, and it did. So started it, didn't want to risk going too far, just went down the road and back, just pulled back into the village, fuck I went. And luckily I'd brought like 3 20 amp fuses, popped them in, unplugged the regulator because I was starting to suspect that, managed to start it and get back home just. So today what I did, started the motorbike without the regulator, which is, so today, which has been the first reasonable day that hasn't been cold, drizzly and damp. I unplugged this regulator, started it up, fine, and then to check, plugged it back in, turned on the ignition lights sort of stayed on and then went dead. So I knew for certain that it's this regulator. I looked online to see if I could get a new regulator, and you're talking like 80 quid. I mean, what? I could find like sort of cheap Chinese ones for about 15 quid, but I thought no. And then I thought, aha, my mate, Mike the Bike, some time ago, I can't remember, we were talking about bikes or whatever, sent me this one, which I think is off a Ducati. And he mentioned about like replacing voltage regulators because of crap. However, as you can see, this one hasn't got the same thing, but bless him, he sent me the wiring, the connectors and everything too. So I looked online for these sort of type of regulators, and I can get, if this one isn't any good, I can get other ones like used ones like off Suzuki's, Yamaha, all different sort of bikes use this style, and they're only about 28 quid. So what I'm going to do is convert it to this one. However, there's a bit of a problem. As you see in there, room is a bit tight. There's a side panel that goes on here, sticks out a bit, but this was sitting there. So I've pulled that off. I could put it like up here, I think, or something else. So if you're having trouble with your bike with intermittent short circuits where the main fuse is blowing, pull off the lead to the regulator, you know, on your Honda VT, or I think loads of different Honda uses this sort of setup. Pull off the regulator, see if the fuse blows. If it doesn't, chances is it's your regulator. Right, time to cut the plate for the regulator. And then I'll clean it up with the file. Right, I'll go and mark that on the bike now. That's free of any burrs and rough bits. I'll go and try and work out where I'm going to put my holes. Well, after a lot of mucking about, I think I've fettled a means of attaching this regulator. Yeah, that'll work. And so then it's just a matter of getting them in there. I've got to redo this bit of wiring here. Essentially, I made up a bracket out of 2mm alley. I mean, yeah, it could be stronger, with a couple of countersunk 4mm bolts holding that on, so that will mount on there. I'm going to get that mounted up and then figure out the wiring alterations. Right, well, that's it in. Got a bit of springiness, but that's no bad thing. The side panel fits okay. I really want to get this done because it's not long past 12 o'clock midday here, and already it's starting to get dark and cold. I think we've got a storm coming in, maybe even snow. So as you can see, that's our wiring from the previous regulator which went there. So I'm hoping, or I don't think I will need to make any extensions. In fact, if anything, it's probably too long, so I'm gonna cut it back and try and keep the, you know, the lead length, the wire length, as long as possible. Because what I'm trying to do, I'm trying to make things reversible if I ever need to, or the future owner of the bike ever needs to. I'm going to crack on with that. That's the harness cut back. A couple of bits of heat shrink that's got glue inside on the two main bits that we need, and another bit of bigger heat shrink going over and sealing onto the original loom. All I've got to do now is pare these back and put the plugs on, which I'll do off camera. I haven't got any of the proper things to do these, so I'm going to do it I usually do, and that's just use what I've got, which will outrage a lot of people probably, or maybe, well, I only used to get 100 views, so maybe 10 people. Hey ho. I've tested it with a multimeter and it tests fine. That'll just keep that grip there. Just got to do the grippy cable bit now. So, I mean, with any job like this, it's either wait, or if you've got the money to get like the 50 quid fancy then proper things to do it, I'll use a pair of pliers. So I use those little ones just to sort of get it about right, and then do it as tight as I can. Like that. Normally if I do this sort of thing in my workshop, I put a bit of solder in after. I don't put the solder on first, I put the solder in after. One biggie with cables is forgetting to put things on like the bungs. Oh, that's not. And then afterwards going, oh fuck. Maybe me saying right at the start, make sure you got all your things on, and because it's really easy to fuck up. Yeah, and that's what I did. Completely buggered up. Should have been that one. I found a better tool in here and found this thing, and I redid all the connections because, as you saw, only one popped out. This is the last one, I think. Yeah, it is. I got that in right. Got so much wrong today. That doesn't feel right, so it's got to be that way. There we go. I mean, just a simple bloody thing, simple sockety thing, no soldering, no capacitors, no integrated circuits. Still get the bugger on. Right, let's see if it's charging. Let's see if the fuse goes pop. On charge voltage is 12.3. There we go, 13.9, just on the money. Fucking brilliant. I'm gonna let that run for a bit because the battery needs topping up. I'm go and have a cup of tea. Well, I'm glad I got that done, because the motorbike is my main form of transport. So, because I live quite away from the nearest town, it makes life a bit difficult if not. So what have we learned? Tracing intermittent faults is a bugger, but you get there in the end if you just keep at it. Is it worth changing from the old SCR type regulator to a MOSFET one? Well, just from the price alone, yes it is, because as I said, a regulator for the Honda, an OEM part was about 80 quid, that's without the postage, whereas I can get one on eBay like Triumph or loads of different sort of modern bikes have that same sort of regulator. Mike informs me it's called a Shindengen regulator, MOSFET regulator. I will do an update in the future to tell you how I got on, but one thing I noticed earlier on just from running the motorbike was that previously with the old regulator it was misfiring occasionally. It wasn't then. Whether that was a regulator or something else, I do not know. Thank you all for watching. Take care of yourselves. Ta-ra for now.